Camille, belle, la moustache et la capucha. Sito patamilo, mina taka tiki punetika. Sito patamilo, mina taka tiki punetika. Sito patamilo, mina taka tiki punetika. Sito patamilo, mina taka tiki taka tiki. Sito patamilo, mina taka tiki punetika. Sito patamilo, mina taka tiki punetika. Sito patamilo, mina taka tiki punetika. Camille, belle, la moustache et la capucha.
What's going on? This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show, and today the bomb dropped in a season where we were supposed to have no drama, culture was changing, all types of stuff, and here we go with what has been the most damning thing to ever fall out of the Fan Snyder era of owning the Redskins. 15 women come and say that top executives of the Washington franchise sexually harassed them and so forth. And to be quite honest, and I know a lot of people may not believe me with this, I actually believe them, and I'm going to tell you why. There were plenty of times that I was on that club level. Now, the club level is this level where there's the suites and everything, and it's very plush up there. It's a very nice atmosphere, to be honest, when you're on the club level. And there were plenty of times that we saw on that club level after the game, and, you know, long after fans have left and people are still just roaming around on the club level and stuff like that. Eventually they move people out, but it was a lot of people still hanging around. And to be quite honest, there were a lot of times you had club owners, club seat owner, club level booth owners, whatever they call it. They were always taking pictures with like these very gorgeous women. Or I remember the women who used to walk around and they'd be like, "Oh, did you have a really good experience?" Blah blah blah. And I remember these women having to like almost pimp themselves, and they were all pretty women. Like, they weren't just women that was like, "Oh, you know, she just worked here." They were all very, very good looking women. And I'm not surprised that this actually is the bombshell. You know, the Redskins have found ways to embarrass their fan base for a very long time during the Fan Snyder era of ownership. And because of this, I was thinking something else. I'm going to be quite honest. When they said that there was a massive report coming out, I did not know it was going to be this. But when you read the story and you see what's going on, a lot of this you have to believe. There's a lot of details in there that is so strange, like the women walking up the stairwell and the guys looking up their skirts and stuff like that. Now, when they explained where that stairwell was, I'm pretty sure a lot of you remember that stairwell. And some of y'all gonna probably say, "No, what stairwell are you talking about?" The stairwell they're referring to is the one where Clinton Portis used to do the Southeast Jerome press conferences at. These people were standing under that stairwell to look up the skirts of these women. They also said that it was the trainers that was doing that. So now I see why the Redskins suffered so many injuries, because all the trainers were too busy trying to do upskirt videos. So, I mean, it's just the saddest thing in the world that you're sitting here and you're trying to figure out what the hell is going on with the team. They got the name changed. We've been losing for the past 20-something years, and bam! If you don't see that we're in a scandal of all scandals. Now, I do have some news for y'all, because I was actually at a place and I overheard a conversation. I don't think that they knew that I was actually listening, but I had to listen. Jeff Bezos is actually working on trying to buy the Redskins. Not only that he's approached several minority owners to buy the Redskins. He actually wants full ownership of the Washington franchise. He wants complete ownership. So what they're doing is that He's going to actually buy the remaining 40% is what was being said. But at the same time, with that 40%, he's going to see if Fan Snyder is going to at least end up selling the rest of the portion of the his 60%. Along with that, Bezos is going to come in at a very high offer. The offer that they're saying that Jeff Bezos is willing to commit is $4 to $5 billion to purchase the Washington franchise. Yes, you heard me correct. Jeff Bezos is trying to buy the Redskins, the Washington franchise, and he's sitting up there and he's willing to go as high as $4 to $5 billion for the team. He plans to outbid everyone to buy the franchise. Now understand this. Jeff Bezos buys the Washington franchise. He will have the biggest footprint in all of DC area. The DMV area, I should say. He would have, basically, he would own FedEx Field and all the surrounding property around FedEx Field, because that's what Fan Snyder owns. He would have his headquarters in Virginia, and you're talking about the possibility of moving the team back to Washington once the name change is approved and they tear down old RFK. Jeff Bezos is really working on it, and he also already owns the Washington Post. Jeff Bezos is going to be the new owner of the Washington franchise. Hear me from this. Like I said, I know it was a conversation that I overheard, but where I was, there's no way that this is not true. It can't be a situation where this is not true. I didn't think that this story was going to come out so early. I thought it was going to come out on Friday, but the fact that this bombshell came out, and the fact that sexual harassment is involved and everything like that, Fan Snyder is out. He's out as owner. It's no getting around it. He is out, and Jeff Bezos is going to be our guy. Jeff, understand this. Not only is Jeff Bezos going to be our guy, he doesn't even need to have any type of naming rights for the stadium, because the stadium can just be called Amazon Stadium. Think about that. This man is going to be the biggest owner in Washington history in a very long time. Not only that, I think everybody will feel good, because guess what? If you're talking about Washington franchise merchandise, the team being already owned by the owner of Amazon, imagine all the goodies we're going to get as fans. I'm sorry, I can't wait for this to happen. Unlike everybody else, I'm excited that Dan Fan Snyder is going to be out of here. We've had too much losing. There's been too much drama since he's been owner. From the time he first bought the team, I mean, when he sat up there and stupidly fired Charlie Casserly and released Brian Mitchell, that was so dumb. When he brought in Jeff George to replace Brad Johnson, who just took us to the playoffs into the second round, that was stupid. When he sat up there and gave the job to a offensive coordinator who was not ready, because of the fact that he was too busy trying to hire another coach's assistants before the coach was even hired. That was stupid. Then he runs Joe Gibbs out of the building, because Joe Gibbs couldn't handle the fact that all these players were actually free agents and the type of money that they had to spend to keep these guys around. Not only that, he also, I mean, there's so many. You talking about he signed what was technically the worst free agent signing ever in $100 million Albert Haynesworth. Let's not forget that. He brought in Bruce Smith, spent all that money for all those free agents during that time, sat up there and just did situation after situation after situation. Then you hire Jay Gruden and you keep him around for 6 entire years. I am glad there's a chance that Fan Snyder will no longer be the owner. Now, in a sense again, about this situation with these women, this is very damning because again, I do remember being on the club level of at a Redskin at several different Washington franchise games and seeing those women walk around. Not only was it them, it was also cheerleaders. I remember a lot of cheerleaders had to sit up there and you could tell that they just did not feel like taking pictures, and it was almost like they were forced there to take pictures and everything like that. Like they were forced to take pictures with greasy, grimy, some of these old nasty men who are sitting up there and not being really nice and stuff like that, but they had to take pictures with some of these guys. These guys are oogling over them and everything like that. And I remember some of these women when they were trying to sit up there and convince these guys to re-up their season tickets and everything like that. In fact, if I can remember, I think that 9 times out of 10, those women were the ones who were called to re-up season tickets. So I tell you, man, for a season where we was not supposed to have any drama, it has just not ended. From Jack Del Rio and him saying what he had to say, to coming to find out Kelvin Harmon had an ACL injury that happened a dang month ago. Now all of a sudden you talk about this. Y'all, it's time for Fan Snyder to go. It's time to wish him good luck. It's time to say you tried. It's time to leave him alone. It's time for him to go. Welcome, new owner Jeff Bezos. I love you, man. I hope you do well. I hope I get some free shipping and all types of stuff. I hope that we get everything we can even imagine with the ownership of Jeff Bezos as our new owner of this Washington franchise. I'm excited. Y'all should be excited. Sad, sad story. And Larry Michael, my God, like, man, like he's been the voice of the Redskins. Even when you listen to, he was the play-by-play man on the radio. So, wow, like it's amazing at how many people was involved in this. It's a very, very sad story. I really feel sad for these women, even though some of the video may not really seem like that, but I really do feel sad for these women because, like I said, I do remember a lot of these women sitting up there and having to cater to these guys and cater to a lot of season ticket holders. And I remember seeing them all throughout the club level, trying to make them happy and everything like that. So I remember the female bartenders that is up on that club level. So yeah, I definitely 100% do remember a lot of this stuff. I'm not surprised that this was the case. It's sad. It's a very, very sad time and for the Washington franchise. But we may be getting a new owner. And I could just say that that's probably the best thing that could ever happen to us. It's been your man, John Fortune, and it's been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.